Welcome to Policy on Demand Week in Review. I'm Pat Brown.
What would you tell clients are your takeaways from this week?
So this was a really interesting week, a little bit of the past, a little bit of the present, and a bit of a kind of issue for the future to contemplate. In terms of the past, we saw a district court decision this week in which a judge struck down some temporary regulations that were issued following the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And specifically, these temporary regulations would have applied retroactively and would have limited the application of Section 245 Cap A, the dividends received deduction. Now, having said that, this is clearly not the last word on this, but it is notable that as we look at decisions like this district court decision, the last chapter has not been written with respect to the 2017 tax reform. With respect to the present, we saw a really interesting meeting this week, ECOFIN meeting in Europe, in which the European Union was unable to get to a unanimous agreement to move forward with their Pillar 2 directive. And so the implications of that are, for the moment, Europe is unable to move forward, but we fully expect France, which holds the presidency of the EU, is going to continue trying to press their case to move this forward. And in terms of looking into the future, Congress is about to start a 2-week recess. Coming out of that 2-week recess, when they return to legislative business, very much on the agenda will be whether or not they can reconstruct a reconciliation bill and move forward with some of the domestic law changes that we've been talking about.
Which question related to policy did you get asked the most, and how did you respond?
So the question that was asked most frequently this week was, help us to understand what's going on with Poland. They are the EU member that prevented the directive from moving forward at the ECOFIN meeting. The answer to that question, based on what Poland has said publicly, is Poland wants Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 of the OECD project to be linked and to move forward together. In some respects, that really shouldn't be seen as surprising, because it was always the understanding going back, let's say, a year in time, that Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 would move forward together. And Poland apparently is prepared to insist upon that, although we know, as mentioned, that France will continue to try to press their case as the current president of the European Union to try and move this forward.
Where should companies focus their attention in the coming week?
Well, I think companies are going to need to be watching both Europe and the United States, seeing whether or not there's any indication in the United States that members of the Senate are going to be able to come together on a reconciliation bill, which will, again, be a subject that they will have to address when they come back for their next work period. And of course, we're going to have to continue to follow developments in Europe. Will Poland be brought on board with the Pillar 2 directive or not? So I really think companies are going to have to be looking for developments both in the United States and in Europe.